Hi, I'm Starr and I read books. Today I want to review The Lying Game by Ruth Ware. Ruth Ware is a new to me author this year. I just discovered her, and this is only the third book I've read by her. I will continue to read more. I do really like her writing style and I like her books. The Lying Game features a trope that I'm quite familiar with. The group of women who did something in their past and now it is coming back to haunt them. I talked about this in my review of Hex Education that I just recently did. It seems to be a common trope of a lot of books I'm reading this year, and it harkens back to when I was a young adult and I first read I Know What You Did Last Summer. I like when people do something bad and they all cover it up and they all try to keep the lies going and the cover up going for years, maybe even decades, and then something usually brings their group back together and they have to continue to try to hide their lie or they all get caught. And that is very prevalent within this book. It does take place in England. It is a UK setting by a UK author, and it's a really neat setting. They call it the mill, the house one of the main characters lives in, and it's separated from the reach by this walkway that can go under when the tide comes in, and when the tide goes out you can get to the house. I've read a couple of other books with this same style of setting this year. Alice Feeney wrote Daisy Darker and Little Eve by Catriona Ward, and those were both outstanding books. But it was a new setting to me. Being from America and living in landlocked cities most of my life, I've never encountered something like that, and it's very unique because it can isolate the characters. It can create almost a closed room mystery in some instances, and it creates the scary, creepy setting of being isolated from the rest of the world. And if you're with a group of people and you don't trust everybody, what's going to happen? So that was prevalent throughout this book. There was the we did something bad and now it's coming back to haunt us theme. There's the girls' school that kicked the girls out and we're all trying to figure out as you're reading. She does a really good job of going back and forth from present day to past and what happened back then. The main character has a 6-month-old baby and is strictly breastfeeding. She doesn't do any bottles. And I think Ruth Ware handled that and wrote it really well and very realistically. I think the main character having the baby really added something to the story. It didn't take away from it. It wasn't like, oh, it's annoying she has a kid. It wasn't like, where is her kid? She has a kid and she's never around. It made sense the way it was written, and I liked that. I liked all of the characters. I thought there was a lot of character development. We got to know everyone, and by the end of the book, you cared about everyone and what happened to them. Even the ones I think we were supposed to not like so much, I liked them all. So it was a really good book. I gave it a 3 out of 5 star rating. Now that I'm hyping it up here, I'm thinking it might have deserved more of a 4. But I do like to rate my books as soon as I finish them, going off of my gut. So it might have just been a 3, maybe a 3.5, but it was an enjoyable read. It kept me turning the pages, and I do really like Ruth Ware.